Man, Killing Floor. I remember playing it back in my freshman year of high school. Besides playing Cards Against Humanity during math with the boys, there's nothing like hopping on the floor and start killing.
Say that again?
Now, what I love about British COD Zombies is the gunplay. High-key probably some of the best in gaming. Just take a listen. Just music to my ears. And it's not just that, it's the characters, the team cooperation, the perks, no not that one, the enemy variety, and the maps. And when Tripwire came out with a sequel back in 2016, they improved upon it and got rid of the jank from the previous game. They added a bunch of new stuff like new perks, weapons, maps, characters, and Zeds. It is a great game, well aside from a couple setbacks. Besides that, from the amount of glaze I've been providing this series, I think you can guess the excitement I got when Killing Floor 3 got announced. And promptly forgot about it. What? Not my fault I have a life. Anyway, not too long ago I found out the game had released and decided to pick it up. So the question remains, do I like Killing Floor 3? What's up everybody, welcome back. Now before we start tearing into this game, I want to start by giving the game its props for what it did right. You know, giving credit where credit's due. So, I do like the music in this game. It feels reminiscent of KF2, which I believe they have a couple tracks from there if I'm not mistaken. I think the Zeds redesigns look pretty good. One criticism I have for them is that it makes it hard to tell which one I'm fighting, but other than that, I think they're fine. The grind aside, I like the fact that we can make our own loadouts with certain attachments I prefer. It's something I wanted in this game, and to see it here earned it some brownie points for me. The moment-to-moment gameplay, for all its faults, does get me to have fun sometimes. And I think that's about it.
You did it. Good job. I can't believe it. I'm proud of you.
Now let's get into the meat of this. The hub world is completely pointless. I'm not sure why they even bothered. Usually when a game adds a hub, there's often something extra to find, such as secrets, extra tidbits of lore, and an amazing design to look at, like Space Marine 2, Destiny 2, and Ready or Not. Here, there's hardly anything. It's more barren than a 45-year-old cat lady. The setting here is generic as all hell, so much so that I had no incentive to check out everything. Well, except when the game makes you in a forced tutorial. Side note, if you're going to force me to take a tutorial, actually make it good and informative. There were some things I found out on my own, like for one, environmental kills. Anyway, while it does have other necessities like managing skills, crafting loadouts, armory, and getting into games, there's no reason why it couldn't have been done in the menu like it's always been in the franchise. Hell, I'm pretty sure you can still do that in the menu and not have to go to each and every station. Now you might say, hey, maybe they wanted to give us space to fuck around in with the boys while we wait to get into a game. But we can't even do that because the matchmaking countdown can't even be initiated until I get into the computer, pick a map, and walk my ass into the VTOL, which again, might as well have been a menu. But that's all about the hub. Let's now talk about the
Birmingham, if you want the fucking brawl, come down to Snevic Hospitality or come.
Tell me folks, do you play multiplayer games? Do you know what is important in a multiplayer game? Communication. Right, exactly. So someone explain to me, why the fuck is there no text chat? I don't think I've seen a single game forget that vital part of it, besides Battlefield 2042 with their scoreboard. But don't worry people, they made damn sure to get their bread by putting in that store and Battle Pass while ensuring it is in spick and span condition. Not unlike this game of course. The game looks like buns. I ran the game at max settings, but it still looks like Diddy came through with his secret stuff. No Cosby. Not to mention the maps look straight up uninspired. With KF1, the maps had a dark, grimy, and grungy feel to them, like they were pulled straight out of a horror movie. And KF2, they moved from that a bit in favor for a more sci-fi modern feel, which in my opinion they pulled off and had a lot of character with it. But with KF3, I only see two things: generic sci-fi. It's just bland to me. I don't see anything of interest. I don't feel like I can stand in place and take in the environment. Now let's talk a bit more about the optimization. Just to preface this, I have a decently beefy PC. I'm rocking a 12th gen i9 12900K, 64 gigs of RAM, an RTX 4070 Ti, two monitors, one being at 2040Hz, which I game on, and two SSD and one HDD, where I keep my work stuff. It's no bad computer, but it does its job pretty well. I'm telling you guys this because I want you to believe me when I say that this game runs like dog shit. I initially thought it was because I was using OBS to get some footage, so I closed it and tried it again the next day. But holy shit, what a goddamn slideshow. So I had to go into settings to fix it, but guess what? That's right folks, the settings don't fucking work. Don't believe me? Well, let me give you guys an example. Here's me turning Lumen off in the settings to see if that would change anything. Didn't help much by the way. And then after some time, here's me checking the settings to see what else I can turn down. Take a wild guess what happened.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
And I tried it again and again and again. No success. Still need convincing? Well, here's another one. When I first booted up the game and waited for the game to finish compiling shaders, I was greeted with a pop-up choosing whether I want crossplay or not. I chose no. So I got into a game and besides the issues I've stated, things were going relatively well. The second game, however.
Other side, team. Somewhere amidst the
Are you serious, my brother? Are you serious, my brother?
So I thought, you know what? Maybe I need to restart the game for it to properly process my settings. And goddamn it, it didn't work. So I reselected the option as well as restarting the game. The results? Oh, only PC players. Awesome, it worked. Now I can continue playing with the other. Well, shit. There's a bunch of other shit I have mentioned, like the game freezing when I get into a match, getting booted from a lobby because of an error, corpses just doing their thing. It's also irritating. I looked on the community hub and reviews, and I'm not alone, except they are dealing with crashes amongst other things, and I think it's only a matter of time when I start experiencing those as well. But for now, I'm stuck with my issues with crossplay. And my Lumen is back on.
It ain't gon' nah, it ain't gonna work.
Whew boy, here we go. The nitty-gritty, the gameplay, and I'll be honest, with this game's track record, they really putting up Tony Snell numbers. I mean, the gameplay loop is just fine, since it's the same wave-based format they have been doing since day one, which I'm honestly surprised about when you take into account of everything else. But even then, there were some problems with it. The movement was janky, can barely pull off a COD slide cancel. There are and I mean way less guns in this game. There are around 3 to 4 guns for each perk, and the rest are just variations of the same weapon. Just for comparison, here are the weapons for each class in KF2. What else? Oh yeah, there are times when my weapon just won't fire, just straight up shooting blanks. The bosses are just bullet sponges, and especially the weapons though, it just don't hit the same, bruh. Just guns that got touched with sci-fi, with a bunch of tubes and LEDs. Not to mention that they are built like bricks but hit like butterflies. I don't know what it is, but it just don't feel right. It's something you have to play yourself to really take notice of. The previous game's shooting is probably the best in some games I've played, but here it's just meh. But let's get to the perks and the characters. One question, why the hell can't we switch perks between characters? Granted, the devs have taken notice of that some time ago and will change that, but why this was a thing in the first place is just wild. But we're not done with the perk system here. One of the core aspects of these was that everyone can perform the same actions, but different perks can do it better than you. Like healing, for example. They turned healing into a consumable, which some people may like to change, but me personally, not a big fan. Anyway, in KF2, we get 1 charge of a stim. We use it on ourselves, we use the full charge. We heal someone else, we use half of it. But with a medic class, not only do you heal a lot more, but you get more tools to heal your team as well. It incentivizes teamwork and was a perfect blend. Here, unless you are the medic, you can't heal other teammates. And one more thing about the perks was that they cut out and replaced some. The Berserker class is just straight up gone, so is the Gunslinger amongst others. The support was replaced with the advanced warfare looking ass of an engineer. You're just hard stuck with these lame ass characters that look like they just straight off a mobile hero shooter. Seriously, look at them. They just look like generic mercenaries. In the previous games, they looked like regular people that just got caught up in some wild shit. Speaking of character, let's talk about the final issue I have with this game.
Birmingham, if you want the fucking brawl, come down to Snevic Hospitality.
One more thing I like about these games was how stereotypically British it is. KF1, you can see it in the maps as well as the characters, especially Mr. Foster being the most iconic character in the series. In KF2, they toned it down a bit, but it was still very much present. So tell me why not only did they rip that shit out of KF3 like a fatality, but there are only 2 characters from the EU. Huh? Are you serious? Not only that, Mr. Foster's lines are so lame to me, especially Firebugs, which mainly consists of "I like fire, lol." Where are the good quotes? I want to hear how they
woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Cause I live in a shithole!
It's just lame, and when it's not lame, it's more bland than oatmeal cooked with water. Just wanted to mention this because I thought it was important, but I'm not sure what else to say, so I'll just move on to the conclusion.
Finally!
Well, that's all I have to say about this game. All in all, Killing Floor 3 is not an entirely bad game. It's just not a good Killing Floor game. In fact, I think it's a Killing Floor game in name only. By itself, it's mid at best, what with all the issues I've stated, which can be best described as the game having no soul. I'm sure there are going to be shills out there saying shit like, wait for updates, man. You guys are so entitled. Stop complaining. Be glad you have the game. They're fixing it, bro. My nigga, the game is barely playable on launch, and the multiplayer game is missing a goddamn text chat. Literally, the most optimized part of the game is the fucking store. I spent $40 on this damn game, so yes the hell I'm not gonna stop complaining until they fix this shit, or they're gonna have to see me. Y'all really need to stop fighting their battles for them. You hardly see their PR team at work cause they got you guys. If y'all don't stop, you'll end up with what happened with the Left 4 Dead franchise. You guys know Left 4 Dead, in my opinion, the best zombie shooter franchise there is. Probably wanted a 3rd entry to the game, right? Well, you know Valve and their number 3s, but hey, doesn't mean we can't have a spiritual successor, right? Then we got Back 4 Blood. Need I say more? If I do, then watch Krubcat's video on it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you like, and have a good one. Peace.
Ready? Go!
Baby, let me see some. Okay, too bad. Bitches, going both ways. She gon' do it for these fans. She make it clap like how I do both of my hands. Fuck it up. Stick it up.